Whew, what a season we're in. Everything is just this beautiful, chaotic blend of sparkly and overwhelm all at once. And if you're a parent, you're probably juggling both the magic and the mental load of the season. So I want to jump right into today's question because it touches a nerve for so many of us this time of year. Our listener writes, Kyira, I am struggling with Christmas this year. Money's tight, and I know I'm not going to be able to give my kids the gifts that their friends at school are likely going to get. I want them to feel the magic of Santa without feeling less than when they hear what the other kids got. How do I keep Christmas joyful and special without unintentionally feeding into comparison or the idea that Santa loves some kids more than others? Now, I want to name something clearly to start us off. You are not alone in feeling this tension. Many parents and caregivers wrestle with this collision of two truths. One, we want to preserve the whimsy and magic of childhood. And two, man, we live in a culture where comparison shows up early, loudly, and painfully. When kids go back to school after holiday break and one kid says, Santa bought me a PlayStation, while another kid says, well, Santa brought me a book, the question that follows is almost always some version of, why does Santa like them more? And without meaning to, we create a narrative where worth, love, and value are measured by what shows up under the tree. Now, this isn't a parent failing. It's a cultural dynamic that we inherited without questioning, but we can rewrite it. So I want you to first start off by reassigning the meaning of big gifts. One of the simplest, most impactful shifts is this. Let the larger, more expensive gifts come from the adults, not Santa. Not because you shouldn't give your child something special if you want to or you can, but because Santa's gift needs to be neutral. Something that doesn't widen the gap between kids when they compare notes at school. Santa can bring something small, cozy, or whimsical. Your gift, or grandma's, or an aunt, uncle, someone else, can be the one with the bigger price tag if that's something that you want to do. This helps remove hierarchy from Santa's choices and avoids unintentional shame or comparison. And it keeps the magic intact without setting up kids for painful social situations. Now, the second thing that we can do is to create a family Santa philosophy that's rooted in values. Instead of focusing on what Santa brings, shift the lens to what Santa represents in your household. For example, curiosity, kindness, wonder, togetherness, imagination. The magic becomes about ritual, not retail. Ask your kids, what kind of magic do you think Santa cares about most? What's a way we can bring magic to someone else this week? Now the story is about who they are, not what they get. Now, third, you can help your kids by setting expectations gently and honestly. You don't need to apologize for not having the same budget as another family. You also don't need to pretend that money doesn't matter. A simple, age-appropriate explanation might sound something like, Santa brings a small gift to every child, and the rest of the gifts come from the people who love you. What makes Christmas special is how we celebrate together. This frames the idea that magic is shared, gifts are human, and worth is inherent. Next, can you anchor the season in experience, not inventory? Now, this goes back a little bit to this idea of a Santa philosophy. Kids rarely remember what they opened, but they do remember how the house smelled, how you read a book together with hot cocoa every Christmas morning, the one silly ornament that you hang every year, the blanket fort movie night, the feeling of being loved and seen. When money is tight, experiences become your superpower, and they hold your value far longer than the stuff. Now, finally, can you model neutrality when kids talk about other kids' gifts? If your child comes home saying, "Why did Santa bring Emma an iPad and not me?" Try saying something like, "Every family makes their own choices about gifts. Santa brings something small to everyone, and the rest is up to the family. What mattered most to you about your Christmas this year?" Pull them out of the comparison loop and bring them back into their own story and their magical experience. Now, as we wrap, I just want to tell everyone, but especially our listener, you're not ruining Christmas by not being able to give them everything. You're not depriving your kids. You're not failing because your budget looks different from someone else's. You're protecting the magic by anchoring it in what actually makes it magical: connection, imagination, and belonging, not the price point of a present. And that's something that your child is going to feel long after they've outgrown Santa. So as we wrap for today, I want everyone to think about what you can do to be a part of sharing this message. How can you be a part of this Santa neutrality and to focus on experiences rather than price tags? If you're somebody that has the capacity to give those bigger gifts, what can you do to make sure that, again, your kids can see Santa as a neutral person or magical spirit that's giving them something? But maybe those big gifts are reserved for ones coming from you or other people in their lives. Now, if there are thoughts coming up for you, takeaways, next steps, questions, let me know in the comments. If you're ready to dive deeper into understanding shame in a whole different avenue, make sure you click in the link in the show notes to get on my email list. And of course, if you have your own question that you want to get answered on the Ask Me Anything part of our podcast, click that link in the show notes below and submit your question today. I hope that you all continue to bring the magic in for these last few weeks of the year. I'm so excited to be a part of this with all of you. Thank you so much for bringing me into your hearts and homes as we talk through these big topics, and I'll see you back here next week.